I needed 4 years to get to 10K per month with my first SMMA. And then the second and third one, I scaled to 25, 23K per month within months. So I think I'm pretty qualified to speak about the reasons why most SMMA owners fail and how you can avoid it from personal experience. And then number one is you don't actually need the best niche to start. You just need a niche. So stop overthinking niches and focus on solving problems, and the right niche will reveal itself. Why am I saying this? It's because before you even settle on the right niche, chances are you have other deficits that are going to be holding you back from scaling anyway. Things like an inability to sell and convert at the degree that you should, to market yourself adequately, to run campaigns properly, to fulfill and to retain clients, to do communication, finance, operations, hiring, firing, all of those things. And you know what the best part about this is? That no matter what niche you're going to pick, you're still going to need to develop all of these skills. And so the niche really doesn't matter that much. It's just a way to pay in a void and to procrastinate instead of actually tackling it head on. So there are ways to pick the best niches, the best places for you to leverage unfair advantages and competitive edges. Stay close to something that you understand a bit more intimately, a bit more closely. If you have a family business, a friend who runs a business, someone who you can help with directly. But yeah, get started. You don't need the best niche. You just need a niche so you can get started and drive value to a select specific group of people. Number two, quitting your job too soon is probably a bit dumb. Your 9 to 5 is the way to fund your agency's growth. So you can use it as leverage instead of rushing out. When I first quit my first job 4 years ago, I basically tried to do SMMA and marketing by myself. And after 3-4 months of something that I perceived as a failure, I started freaking out because I was running out of funds. And I ended up working again in other agencies. And that was the biggest mistake. If I had kept a bit of runway and if I had a job, even something part-time, I would have had a head a bit more screwed on and I wouldn't have made any rash decisions. So maybe quitting your job too soon is pretty dumb. Maybe you need some form of certainty and reassurance there. And so number three, you can learn sales by watching videos. Big mistake. Sales is learned by doing. No scripts or guru can teach you rejection, resilience, ability to think critically when you're put on the spot. You will learn more selling to 10 people than you will learn by watching 10 hours, 100 hours on selling. You're going to think that you're learning and you're going to hear the words, but they're not going to land. They're not going to hit because you're going to lack that first-hand reference experience to be able to connect to it. And so I would argue that 60, 70, 80% of what you're watching is completely wasted. And so do not spend time learning sales. In fact, I would encourage you, if you want to brave this and to scale faster than anyone you know, to go in your first sales call without learning anything about it. If you don't know anything now, perfect, clean slate. Go into your first sales call, record it, see how it goes, come back, review it afterwards, and if you can keep doing that 2, 3, 4, 5 times, if you can get sales out of that, phenomenal work. If you can't, maybe that's the time to start learning some sales and start polishing specifically on things that you discovered yourself to need help with. Number three, outreach volume beats quality. A lot of people are spending days, weeks fantasizing and obsessing over the perfect outreach amount text. They're finding all these YouTube videos, watching to discover the best scripts, to produce the best ads, the best email outreach, the best DMs. At the beginning, quantity completely crushes quality. You can only get your quality so good before it diminishes returns, whereas the volume that you hammer is completely unlimited, right? You can crush volume. Now, obviously, there is a balance there. There is a caveat to that. If you're going to send 100 mediocre DMs, that's going to be better than sending 10 perfect ones. But if you're going to send 10,000 crappy ones, just like everyone else, then maybe you have a problem there as well. And so if you have to err on one side, always err on the side of volume, but try and keep a critical perspective onto it as well. Number five, your first clients will be bad. The first clients will be underpaid. They will be over demanding. They will teach you lessons that you can't skip. They're going to show you where your boundaries should be, where you should draw the line, where you should start pushing back, how you should promise and how you should deliver so that you don't set unrealistic expectations. They end up biting you later on. And basically dealing with the frustration of a client that's underpaid and asks the world of you. Such is the name of the game. The less people pay, the less they value the results, the less they appreciate it. When they get more advanced, more successful, they can actually afford higher premiums, and that's when actually they respect the work and the grind more. It's just a necessary phase. The quicker you can get through it, the quicker you can get to the promised land onto the other side. Number 6, you're wasting time on fancy tools. Spreadsheets, email templates, they're more than enough to hit your first $10,000. If you're still wasting time trying to find the best CRM, the best email marketing tool, you're doing exactly that. You're wasting time. You're not focusing on progress. You're not focusing on growth. You really don't need any of those things to get started. You don't need anything. You just need leads. You just need a client. You don't have a business until you have a client. And if you have one client, then add a second one, add a third one, a fourth, a fifth, and then you have a real business. Then you have a 10K per month business. Okay. Number 7, work-life balance is completely overrated. It goes without saying. Building whilst working full-time isn't balanced. It's a bit messy, so keep it at that. Accept that for the time being, and don't make it more complicated than it needs to be by trying to throw in other things like hobbies, friends, family, all those things. Forget all of that. Keep the bare minimum just to keep yourself going, to keep yourself focused, because where focus goes, energy flows, and you don't want to spread your attention and focus in too many directions. You're going to have to deal with far too many cognitive biases, errors, fallacies, inconsistencies, incorrect paradigms, and you're going to need your head completely screwed on and completely focused in order to be able to tackle those things and to keep yourself going. So you absolutely positively don't need any more distractions than you already have from the process that is building your business, which is very cathartic. There is no better self-development, in my opinion, than trying to build a business, than trying to brute force a company and profit into existence. Number 8, you don't need paid ads for your first clients. We are the biggest advocates to paid ads that we know, because we've built all of our agencies on ads at this point. But we didn't start it this way. We focused on cold outreach, we focused on referrals, we focused on networking before burning cash on ads. And so you have friends who need marketing. You have friends who need your SMMA services. Help them. Solve problems for them. Go into your network of contacts, go into your network of relatives, family, friends, etc., and start building there. You don't need to start with ads, so don't even use that as an excuse to not start. Okay. Number 9, hiring too early will stunt your growth. Hiring too late will kill your momentum. So there's truth to be said to both of those things. You have to be careful what you delegate. You have to be careful about what you keep. In general, the rule of thumb is you elevate and then you delegate. When it comes to repetitive tasks, that's the first thing that you want to relinquish, you want to give away, because you want to be using your creative, high intensity activities, capabilities to actually build your business. And then you can leave the grind and the button pushing activities. You can outsource that pretty quickly. So, for example, appointment setting for your clients, delegated as soon as you've mastered it. Building funnels, CRMs, operations, delegated as soon as you've mastered it. Sales and marketing, hold on to that piece. Hold on to that piece for a bit. First, because it's hard to find good salespeople who are going to sell as well as you. Second, because they're going to be expensive and they're going to need to be paid heftily in order to stay. And third, because your product will continue to evolve as you're speaking to more people, to more clients, and you're going to take that dynamically and reinforce it in your products. And so hold on to that piece for the last bit. That's sales is actually the last piece that you want to relinquish. Number 10, most SMMAs fail because they don't do follow-up. Follow-up is fortunes in the follow-up. Yes, we have sequences to follow up with 5, 6, 7 texts. We follow up with leads for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, for 4 weeks. We do database reactivations after months where we try to re-engage the old lists. The easiest way to beat your competitors is to send a second email, is to send a third text, to do another follow-up call. If you're not calling your leads for at least 7 days, then what are you doing? If you don't have booked appointments in your calendar and you're not spending every single second trying to get back into a booking, into an appointment, then what are you doing? Okay, cool. 11, it's better to over-deliver for free than to undercharge. So, under promise, blow your clients away, and use the case studies to land your higher paying client. Pretty easy. Build leverage, and then that leverage is going to change everything. You're way better off trying to close clients on 2K, 5K retainers with a case study after you've earned those case studies for free than it is to try and go through the motions and just spam outreach trying to force something prematurely. Okay, cool. 12, charging more, whatever. 12, charging more won't solve your problems. Higher fees only amplify your mistakes, so you have to fix your process first. What I mean by that is that a lot of people think they can just charge more and force their way into a perfect product. That is true to a certain extent. With higher fees, you can hire better talent and then you can solve problems better. But before you get there, you need to understand what the problems are in the first place and what is the best way to solve them. And overcharging is not necessarily going to solve your problems. So instead, focus on actually paying attention to the things that are working, to the things that are not working, to really fix them, to really make them work for 1, 2, 3, 4 clients. The caveat to that is obviously don't try to perfect your product on just a handful of clients and think that that's going to be the be all and all of it, because that's also not true. You want to, as much as possible, work with a large range of clients and try and service and fulfill for most of them, because otherwise you're probably going to be at the whims of the market, of the seasonality of their offers, of some hidden pieces in their funnel that you may not be seeing. And if you're going to try and make all of those things work, then you're probably going to slow down your growth quite dramatically. Cool. Okay. Number 13, your best marketing isn't always on social media. And I know that sounds hypocritical from someone who's built their entire business on running ads on social media, but you want to basically focus on direct outreach or partnerships, because those are the things that are less sexy to wrap your head around. And I'll give you an example. In the med spa niche, for example, everyone's running ads on social media. What fewer people are doing is they're trying to build partnerships with medical device providers or with consumables like Botox, injectables, replacement parts for the machinery. If we partner with those companies, then we can get referrals from them, because it's in the best of interest that their clients, the med spa owners, sell more, so that they need more of their cogs, right, of their goods and consumables. Okay, so try and think about that for a second as well. Try and find ways to build referrals and partnerships, because those leads are going to come in hot and warm, and they're going to sell better and they're going to retain better. And in fact, what we've also experienced, our first PIF was actually a referral, and so that speaks volumes to that point as well. Number 14, being a specialist isn't always an advantage, because generalists can adapt to client needs faster than niche obsessed agencies. At the beginning, when you're trying to solve problems for a client, it's going to pay off to have a pretty broad understanding of everything, of funnels, of copywriting, of graphics, creatives, ads, offers, landing pages, conversion optimization, sales, appointment setting, marketing. If you understand, the better you can understand all of these things, the better you're going to be able to find and figure the lowest hanging fruits, the place where you can achieve the most leverage the earliest, the soonest, and actually get results for your clients the fastest. And then you can specialize. There's obviously the flip side to that. Doing too many things is only going to splinter your attention. Once you you figure out the best place where you can get asymmetric returns, you can get paid the most, where it's getting the greatest return for your clients, obviously you're going to want to specialize on that. Okay, cool. 15, most people overestimate what they can do in 3 months, but they underestimate what consistency can get them to in a year, which is to say, everyone's making these very big goals for the quarter, double the business, 3x the business. It's oftentimes just wishful thinking. Obviously, I'm not saying you should stick to the 20% growth month on month and take that as the thing to live and die by, because that can potentially stunt your creative, imaginative thinking. But at the same time, don't expect to turn everything around in just one quarter, to the extent where if you don't do it, you get disheartened and then you throw in the towel, and then you have a shitty next quarter where you're completely demotivated and just going through the motions, essentially a rut. Instead, try and pace yourself for the whole year and have longer time horizons on what you're trying to accomplish. Whether it's trying to hit your first 10K per month, 100K per month, whether it's trying to double the profit that you retain, double the number of clients that you close every single month. Take a balanced perspective between a quarter and a year. Ideally, maybe have 2 review points, one at H1, one at H2, and basically review each half of the year and see how you're pacing towards the rest of that year. And again, measure and quantify everything, because if you're not tracking, then all of this conversation right now is basically pointless. It's futile. Okay, cool. 16, results don't matter as much as relationships. I've said this before and I'll say it again. When it comes to services, to agency services, be that SMMA, AI, lead gen, booked appointments, the service is rather commoditized. Pretty much everyone can offer it. Everyone with half a brain can achieve decent results. The problem with that is, the counter to that is that no matter how good you are, you're not always going to be able to achieve stellar results. And when the results dwindle, it's great communication and client satisfaction that keeps them longer than the flawless results. It's the relationship that differentiates you, that decommoditizes you, and that sometimes is just as valuable to a business owner, to a client of yours, than the results themselves. Okay, especially when you're in the consulting service business, where they're looking at you for reassurance, for conviction, for drive, for leadership, which are absolutely invaluable soft skills that you can bring and put on the table. Okay. 17, you're not scaling because you're afraid of rejection and because you're afraid of success. The biggest bottleneck isn't strategy, it's avoiding hard conversations. What do I mean by that? Is the conversations where you're actually showing up to your client meetings, status meetings every week, and you're asking them how it's going. What is going well? What is going badly? What can you improve? Can you get a referral from them? Can you get a testimonial from them? Can you get a case study from them? These are hard asks sometimes, and if you're people pleasing and if you're not going in asking for these things, you're not going to get them. And if you don't get them, then it's going to be hard to scale. Okay, same as with sales. This rears its nasty head in other places as well, like when it comes to selling, to pitching, to closing, to dealing with objections, handling objections, challenging clients that try to brush you off with I need to think about it, send me a contract. Who sends contracts? It's 2025. Yo, wake up. Push back and have the uncomfortable conversations. It's better to get a no, and to basically stop wasting your time on a follow-up than to get a wishy-washy yes. That's really just polite now. Okay, go. Number 18, cold outreach beats content marketing early on. Cold outreach and ads, that is, because you're essentially paying your way, you're paving and paying your way to the eyeballs that matters. Content marketing is great as the middle of the funnel. Content marketing is great if you are able to get new eyeballs into your funnels, into your machinery, into your top of funnel, and then content is just there to grease the wheels, to convert them, to nurture them, and to get them in. So that's what you should be churning out: emails, new ads, not Instagram Reels, not YouTube videos, not until you're profitable at least. Okay. 19, I should have probably put this as number 0. Nobody cares about your logo. Nobody cares about your website. I built my first agency to 10K per month without having any of those things. I don't even think I had a professional email. No one cares. Clients care about ROI. Everything else is noise. Yes, at some point this flips on its head where people start caring about your brand, start caring about you being professional, but that's way later down the line. Early on, these are just distractions. It's just pain avoidance. Please do not build a website. And if you do, just build one with a template. Do the same thing with the logo. Our logos are still Canva logos. No one cares. Okay, cool. And finally, point 20, perfection paralysis is your real competitor. The agencies who take messy action are the ones who are crushing. While you're tweaking your fonts, while you're tweaking your copy, your headline, your ads, your editing for the 100th time, for the 20th time, whatever, the perfection paralysis is real. It's what's making a task that should be taken 10 minutes take 10 hours, 10 days, God knows how long. It's what's stopping people from putting content out there, from putting ads out there. It's what's stopping people from taking meaningful steps forward and scaling rapidly. And the reason for that is obviously thinking that most of these things are one-way doors. They're not. Everything is reversible, everything is fixable. Do it first, apologize after, and just make strides forward, because I want to see you scale your business fast. I want to see you hit 10K per month in 30 days or less, or at least in 60 days. There's no reason why you shouldn't be getting clients in 2-3 weeks. There's no reasons why you shouldn't have leads and booked appointments in your calendar within 1 week of starting outreach. And there's no reason not to start outreach within 2 hours from the moment you decide this is it. I'm going to finally make money. I'm going to finally quit my job. I'm going to finally start providing for my family, taking them to fancy places, to nice restaurants, to expensive gym memberships, and all of that other juicy, groovy stuff. So I hope this is inspiring. I hope this is useful. Again, I'm rooting for your success, and until next time, bye.